I want to trust myself more. This is so much of what I hear from many of the women that I work with. I'm Kim Marie. Welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about trusting ourselves more as women and moving toward that place of empowerment. This is part of a series of videos I'm doing that is referring to 12 different possibilities for finding our middle way between the too much and the not enough. And you can see that on my homepage, kimmariecoaching.com, and it scrolls through. I pose the question, what would your middle way look like? And there are a number of different examples of that. In this one, we're going to talk about trusting myself. Trusting myself is a middle way, a place of empowerment where we all are longing to do that. And again, this is just going to be one in a series of 12, so be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you'll get notified when the next video comes out. So many of us struggle to trust ourselves. And what does it mean really to trust ourselves, first of all? Okay. To me, trusting ourselves means we listen to that inner voice, that inner wisdom. We trust our intuition. How many times have you been running out the door and maybe, some little voice whispered, be sure to grab that or take this with you, and you go, oh, I'm not going to need that. Maybe it's an umbrella and it's sunny out and you think, I'm not going to need it. And by the time you come home, it's pouring rain and you wish you had listened to that little voice that said, bring your umbrella, right? That's part of trusting yourself. But it's also around trusting yourself, like capital S self. Trusting that you belong here, trusting that you have a place here, trusting that your work and your gifts and your skills and your passions are all needed here on this planet, okay? And sadly, so many of us as women don't. And in fact, we've even been told, whether it's through lots and lots of gaslighting, that things are not what we think we see them to be. We have an intuition and we're told, oh, you're crazy. That's ridiculous. Why are you thinking that? Or, we have an idea and maybe it's counter to the cultural norm. The feminine wisdom can see such a diffuse level of awareness. So we can see so much more when we're tapped into the feminine wisdom. Now, everybody has feminine wisdom, but women are tapped into it more strongly and we see more. We can have this diffuse awareness that allows us to see other possibilities, maybe that others don't. And when we show up and we have something and we say something and we keep being told, oh, that's crazy, that's ridiculous, what do? We start to say, oh, I shouldn't speak up. I shouldn't say anything, or maybe I can't trust myself, right? And we start to believe that we can't trust ourselves, but we also then can start to believe that we can't trust the world. We start to feel like we can't trust that we'll be listened to, or that our ideas matter, or that our intuition is valid, right? And let's face it, we also have a huge history. I mean, millions of women burned at the stake for speaking up, for having a different perspective, for trusting something different, right? Because something that they intuitively knew within themselves. And we need to stop completely ignoring ourselves and that intuitive sense. We need to believe that we can trust ourselves. Now, this is a hard one. I still wrestle with this. I used to feel like I couldn't trust myself, so therefore I had to trust everyone else, right? I started seeking out the guru, the teacher, the book, the author, the course creator, whatever it was. And all of those things are great. I think we all need to keep learning. I'm a big advocate of constant learning, constantly expanding our horizons, opening up our boundaries and edges, and expanding beyond our edges. But when we start doing it because we think we can't trust in ourselves, then it becomes a problem, because what we do is we try to fit into the mold that the book is telling us we should be, or the guru is telling us we should be. We start to believe that there's a right way and a wrong way of doing things. And if our intuition and our inner voice and our inner wisdom is telling us something else, we must be wrong. Or if things aren't working out for us, or things aren't going well for us, there must be something wrong with us, right? And so we get this constant barrage of messages that tell us it's not okay to trust ourselves. And I just want to say that's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's the culture that we're living in, but we can do something about it. We can learn to trust ourselves. We can find our middle way between trusting everyone else and going out on that space of maybe almost I don't want to say trusting ourselves too much because it's a false sense of power, but we might align with all these other people that we think, I've got this, I know what I'm doing, right? I trust myself, but we're not really listening to that inner voice, right? Or we just completely hide and we disappear and we don't trust anything and we close ourselves up in a cave and we don't want to interact at all. We become apathetic. We become disinterested. We feel powerless to do anything, to move forward at all. Okay. And both have their place. Sometimes we need to retreat, and sometimes we need to get out there and learn and try new things. But we don't want it to be at either extreme. We want to learn to trust ourselves from our center, from our inner wisdom, from our intuition, from our energy center, all of those things. And that is such a powerful tool. I'd love to hear examples of what you've noticed. Do you trust yourself? And if you don't trust yourself, why not? Why are you not trusting yourself? What do you think is in the way of trusting yourself? And what would you like trusting yourself to feel like? Share in the comments below. Let's talk about this. Let's engage with this. Let's get other women talking together about the ways in which we can support one another to trust ourselves, our intuition, and our inner wisdom.